When you hear the name Michael Jordan, what comes to your mind? Is it his incredible dunks, clutch shots, or the way he always seemed to win when it mattered most? There is one game, though, that has become almost legendary. The 1997 NBA Finals Game 5, also known as the flu game. In this game, Jordan seemed almost superhuman. He scored 38 points, led his team to an amazing victory, and showed the world what it really means to push through pain. But here's the question, was it really the flu that made him so sick? Or is there a different story behind what happened that night in Salt Lake City? How could someone so sick play like that? In today's video on G.O.A.T Report, we're going to uncover the truth behind Michael Jordan's flu game and see what really happened behind the headlines. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button if you love basketball legends, and subscribe to G.O.A.T Report so you don't miss any stories about the greatest of all time. Setting the stage, NBA Finals 1997. The year was 1997, and the Chicago Bulls were up against the Utah Jazz in the NBA Finals. The series was tied 2-2, and Game 5 was about to take place in Salt Lake City. Michael Jordan was the leader of the Bulls, and everyone knew that when he was on the court, he could change the game completely. But this time, something was different. Jordan looked sick. Reports said he was suffering from the flu. He was weak, sweating heavily, and at times it seemed like he could barely walk. Yet, despite all of this, he somehow managed to play one of the most important games of his career and dominated the game, a legendary performance. Game 5 was intense right from the start. Jordan didn't have his usual energy. He looked pale, moved slower than normal, and sometimes struggled to keep up with the game. But then something incredible happened. Even though he was clearly sick, Jordan scored 38 points, grabbed 7 rebounds, and made 5 assists. Every point seemed harder than usual, but every basket sent the crowd into cheers. Fans and players couldn't believe it. How could someone so sick play at such a high level? One of the most famous images from that night shows Jordan leaning on Scottie Pippen for support while walking off the court. That moment has become one of the most unforgettable in sports history. But was it really the flu? This is where the story gets really interesting. For a long time, everyone thought Jordan was sick with the flu, but in 2013, Jordan himself revealed the truth. He wasn't fighting the flu at all. The real problem was food poisoning. He had eaten at a hotel restaurant before the game, and the meal made him very sick. He could barely keep anything down and felt terrible. Now think about this. He still scored 38 points in one of the biggest games of his career while dealing with food poisoning. That kind of physical and mental strength is almost impossible. Most athletes couldn't handle it, but Jordan did. What made Jordan so resilient? The flu game wasn't just about how strong Jordan's body was. It was about his mind. His ability to keep going, push through pain, and stay focused on winning is what made him different from almost every other player in history. Jordan has always been known for his fierce competitiveness. He hated losing more than anything. Sitting out a game wasn't even an option for him, even if it meant risking his own health. His mindset is simple. The game is bigger than you. Sometimes winning for your team, your fans, and even yourself means pushing past what your body and mind think is possible. The role of the team. Even though Jordan was the star, the Bulls were still a team. Players like Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and the rest of the team played their roles perfectly. Pippen's support wasn't just about helping on the court. It was emotional too. Jordan leaned on him during the game, and Pippen never let him down. The flu game reminds us that even the greatest player needs teammates to succeed. It also shows that being a leader isn't just about scoring points. It's about inspiring others. Jordan's determination and strength lifted the whole team and made everyone play better. The myths and legends. Over the years, the flu game has grown into almost a legend. Fans love to tell the story of a sick man playing and dominating on one of the biggest stages in sports. It has become a key part of the Michael Jordan legend. But like many famous stories, some details have been stretched. Some accounts say Jordan could barely stand or was ready to collapse at any moment. The truth is a little different. He was definitely struggling, but videos from the game show he still moved with purpose, made precise shots, and pulled off plays that only he could make. This teaches us something important. Legends are based on real events, but the story often grows in the telling. Even with exaggerations, the core truth remains inspiring. Jordan showed what happens when talent, hard work, and determination meet even the toughest challenges. The science of food poisoning and performance. You might be wondering, how could Jordan play so well while suffering from food poisoning? The truth is, sometimes the human body can do amazing things if the mind is strong enough. Food poisoning can make you feel nauseous, weak, dehydrated, and even cause vomiting. For most people, these symptoms would make it impossible to play sports at all. But Jordan's mental toughness helped him push through the pain. Sports scientists and nutrition experts have studied this. They say that adrenaline, focus, and sheer willpower can sometimes help someone overcome physical limits for a short time. It's not something you can do every day, but for one night, it was enough for Jordan to play like a legend. The legacy of the flu game. The flu game was more than just one basketball match. It became a symbol of determination, strength, and greatness. It showed that challenges aren't meant to be avoided, but faced head-on. For Michael Jordan, it strengthened his reputation as the ultimate competitor. For fans, it became a story that inspires not just athletes, but anyone trying to overcome obstacles. It also reminds us that behind every legendary moment, there is struggle. The sweat, the pain, and the fear we don't see are often what make greatness possible. Jordan's performance that night shows that pushing through difficulties can lead to extraordinary results. Lessons from Jordan's flu game. So, what can we learn from this amazing night? First, mental toughness matters as much as physical strength. Jordan's body was weak, but his mind stayed focused. Sometimes mental strength can be even more important than physical ability. Second, support systems are important. Even the greatest players need teammates, friends, or mentors to lean on when things get tough. Third, legends are made through struggle. True greatness isn't about being perfect. It's about keeping going, even when everything seems against you. And finally, stories can be more powerful than statistics. Jordan's points and rebounds were impressive, but what people remember most is the story of how he overcame pain and adversity. Behind the scenes, how media shaped the story. The media played a big role in making the flu game a legend. Headlines said things like, "Jordan conquers the flu," and photos showed him sweating, tired, and leaning on his teammates. But the truth, that it was actually food poisoning, didn't come out until years later. This shows how the media can shape what people believe. Even small mistakes or exaggerations can quickly become accepted as fact. It's also a reminder to think critically about the stories we hear. The real truth is often more complicated, and sometimes even more inspiring, than the version that's told at first. Jordan's story is a perfect example of how reality can be just as amazing as the myth. Michael Jordan's own words. Michael Jordan has shared his thoughts on the flu game many times. He says that, yes, it was physically very difficult, but the bigger challenge was mental. Playing while sick wasn't about showing heroism. It was about responsibility. His team, his coaches, and the fans were counting on him, and he knew he couldn't let them down. For Jordan, this meant pushing past pain and focusing on what needed to be done. It wasn't easy, but he accepted it as part of being a leader. This mindset, putting others first, even in tough moments, is part of what made him more than just a great player. It's what turned him into a true legend in sports history, inspiring millions around the world. Beyond basketball, the human element. The story of Michael Jordan's flu game isn't just about basketball. It speaks to all of us. Everyone faces challenges in life that test our limits, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally. Sometimes we feel weak, tired, or even ready to give up. Jordan's story reminds us that true perseverance isn't about avoiding pain or difficulty. It's about facing challenges head-on, enduring them, and finding strength in the struggle. That mental toughness is what separates ordinary moments from extraordinary ones. In our everyday lives, this could look different for everyone. It might mean working hard on a tough project at school or work, helping someone who is struggling, or overcoming personal problems that seem impossible. The lesson is the same. Focus, determination, and resilience can help us push through tough times and achieve things we never thought were possible. Jordan's flu game shows that we all have the power to rise above challenges. Final thoughts. So, what makes Michael Jordan's flu game truly legendary? Was it just about scoring 38 points while feeling sick? Or was it something deeper, like commitment, mental toughness, and never giving up no matter the challenge? The truth is, it wasn't the flu, it was food poisoning. And yet, Jordan turned pain into triumph. He showed the world that greatness isn't about being perfect. It's about facing struggles, pushing through doubt, and refusing to quit. Even today, fans still talk about this game like it happened yesterday. What can we learn from it for our own lives? How can we turn our obstacles into victories, just like Jordan did? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video and subscribe to G.O.A.T Report for more inspiring stories about the greatest of all time.